by the launch jet. I remember how surprised I was on my first trip to El Centro. Desert? I seemed to see nothing but water. Water from the Colorado River, carried through sand hills by the huge All-American Canal to El Centro and the Imperial Valley. Enough water to turn 3 million desert acres into the nation's biggest all-year-round vegetable garden, with large, prosperous towns like El Centro, Brawley, and Calexico. The Naval Air Station is west of El Centro. During the war, when Marine Corps pilots were trained here, there were 14,000 men aboard. In peacetime, 6,000 to 8,000 could be accommodated. The first time here, I figured we'd land in wind, dust, and sand. I'd seen other desert fields, but there was no wind, not even any haze. I found out that this station is practically always like this. They call it poor weather here when the visibility is only 20 miles. Flight conditions are really 4-0. That's important. Squadrons like ours seldom have to miss a day, winter or summer, for training in gunnery, rockets, and bombs. El Centro is important in other ways, too. There's the Parachute Experimental Unit. It's located here for some very good reasons. Reasons that'll soon be mighty important to this new jumper. I know how he feels. Made a few jumps myself. He's trying not to think of anything, but he can't help it. He remembers that streamer yesterday. The chute they were testing didn't open. Of course, it was only a dummy. But just the same, he's in no mood for laughs. Especially the kind the old hands think are funny at a time like this. All he can do is stand there and sweat it out. Sure, he can change his mind, but he asked for it. All jumps by the Parachute Experimental Unit are on a volunteer basis. He wanted to be a jumper, he said, so they loaded 2 chutes on him. The second one in case of, well, just in case. Now he's going to be a jumper. He doesn't know it, but all that kidding is the best thing at a time like this. Keeps him from getting too wound up. If he loses that D-ring when he pulls his chute, he buys beer for the crowd. Okay, he knows it. all right if he decides not to jump. They told him that. He won't be the first who couldn't make it. The crew knows what he's going through. Maybe he won't make it today. In fact, they don't want him to jump unless he really... Sure, everything is all right. Why shouldn't it be? Sure, his legs feel funny, but he doesn't have to go through with it, not even if he gets right up to the door. Wait 4 seconds before opening. Is he kidding? But it doesn't mean a thing. Not when he doesn't have to jump. Oh, brother. Then all at once it's wonderful. He made it. He likes it. He thinks he's an expert. Well, not quite an expert. Coming in backward like that can get him awful black and blue in the wrong places. There's the old D-ring. No beer for the crowd today. He's a jumper now. He's one of the gang. Ripcord is his mascot, too. Now he knows the reasons why the Parachute Experimental Unit is located at El Centro. Little or no wind, flat terrain, no rocks or cactus, unlimited visibility, sea level where accurate parachute testing is possible, soft sand for hard landings. No place else in the United States can this combination of factors be found except at El Centro. That's why El Centro is set up to do just about everything in the line of developing and testing parachute gear. A lot of it is highly secret. The men at the station have invented new type parachutes and gear. They also work with manufacturers by putting their products through the mill and helping them iron out the bugs. No Navy flyer ever jumps with a chute that hasn't been thoroughly tested by the latest methods and equipment. Here's another thing that El Centro does. Trains men to operate and repair babies like this. Baby? Haha. It'll do better than 200 knots. It's a radio-controlled target drone plane. It provides real gunnery practice for the fleet. He flies it with that little box. See? Parachutes for everything. As I mentioned before, we come here for gunnery practice. The Navy has a range in the Chocolate Mountains. It's half 100 miles long, but it takes only 5 minutes or less for a jet to cover that. Gotta have room and lots of it for those Grumman Panthers. Visibility and ceiling unlimited as usual. Target area, 40 miles northeast. 4 miles straight up. Tow plane and target sighted. Fog over the mountains, the coast is closed in. At El Centro, the ADs, the Douglas dive bombers, keep right on training with rockets. This AD is firing a tiny Tim. One of those could sink a cruiser. Here's one to curl your hair. The camera plane can't slow down enough. Busy place, this El Centro. They even have a private ocean, the Salton Sea. They use the Salton Sea for emergency landings by the Navy's big flying boats. And it provides an ideal spot to make test drops with parachutes into salt water, unhampered by fog and other adverse weather conditions. Parachute jumping? Nothing to it, our new boy thinks. He can fly like a bird. Maybe better even. A bird needs wings. He doesn't. All he needs is confidence, and he has plenty of that. Now he can appreciate a good jump like this one coming up. This man is jumping with smoke bombs to help the ground crew follow his fall and analyze air currents at various altitudes on the way down. It looks so easy, but there's a real art to it. A leg moved at the right angle, a foot turned just so, and he goes into a steady flat spin so he can keep his eyes on the ground below. I think this is one of the greatest aerial shots ever made. The camera plane is diving with the jumper, staying within 100 feet or so of him at all times. The man is falling at 120 miles an hour. nothing to it. Nothing can happen to him, not a thing. It's a streamer! No, nothing can happen to those boys. Not a thing. Not very often, anyway. Well, that's the El Centro story. It may seem strange to find the Navy in the desert, but now you know what the place means. To me and to the fleet.